It up, shot won't fall. Wilson, what looks like over the back. Well,
oh boy.
Jump ball is the call.
Wow. Stephanie White's upset about that. I thought that was over the back. Wow. Watch this. That's a jump ball?
Apparently, that was ruled a jump ball at least, according to the official score sheet. You remember the play. Lexi Hall established perfect position, just like every fundamentals guide teaches, holding her ground with textbook precision. Then AjaWilson came crashing in from behind, reaching aggressively for the ball. Somehow, the officials labeled it a 50-50th possession, but you saw what happened. So did the broadcast team. They were stunned. The coaches were visibly furious. And for thousands of fans watching at home, it marked the moment when a growing doubt turned into certainty. This wasn't just a one-off officiating mistake. It became the ignition point of something much bigger. That moment, captured on video and widely shared, has come to symbolize a deeper issue that players and coaches have been quietly speaking about for months. Now, with that footage spreading quickly, the conversation has reached a tipping point. Demands for a formal review are growing louder by the day.
This was a big win for the Fever because the Aces were the only team that they had not won at least one game to last season, meaning the Aces swept the Fever last season. They actually haven't won a game against the Aces in 16 games. And they did it without CaitlinClark. This team is crazy. They are beating the #1 team in the league first. And then they go and beat the Aces, who they haven't won to in 16 games. And they did it without CaitlinClark, which is just a testament to how this team is finally developing.
The players have clearly had enough, and now, the league is finally starting to take notice, particularly in light of the current collective bargaining agreement. You can see it in their body language, hear it in their voices, and observe it in the visible frustration of coaches on the sidelines. This isn't about a single missed call. It's a broader response to a pattern of inconsistent, often biased officiating that many feel has gone unchecked for too long. What we're witnessing now is more than just frustration, it's a quiet uprising against a system that has failed to address these concerns. And it all came to a head in one play that sparked a movement. Today, we're going to break down exactly how that moment became the catalyst for what some are calling a turning point in the WNBA's ongoing struggle with accountability using the league's own footage and data. We'll examine just how far the problems run and why this issue can no longer be brushed aside. If you're ready for the facts without the filters, let's dive in.
Wilson. My God, you see how many free throws that lady had? Oh my God, on the stat sheet, she had basically 30 points, but all the free throws this woman got, man, they tried their best to keep the Aces in the game, man, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter, man. They destroyed the Aces. About freaking time the Fever finally beats the Aces, man, and without CaitlinClark.
Even the commentators, professionals who typically tread carefully when it comes to officiating, were at a loss for words, struggling to make sense of the call in real time. And that's because the play itself wasn't complicated. It was fundamentally straightforward. Anyone who's ever played the game at any level knows the rule. You establish position between your opponent and the basket, you box out, and that space is yours. Lexi Hull did everything right. She sealed off Wilson, held her ground, and maintained textbook rebounding form. In contrast, Wilson bypassed all the fundamentals. She reached directly over Hull's shoulders, made clear contact, and completely disrupted the play. By every standard, that's the textbook definition of an over-the-back foul, virtually automatic in any other game situation. 99 times out of 100, that's a clear call. That's Indiana Fever ball. No question.
Wow, this is third.
Lexi Hall, tremendous three and leads the league at 50%, shooting a three, draws the charge.
But somehow, that wasn't the call. Instead, the officials blew the whistle and signaled for a jump ball, a decision so out of step with the rules that it felt like reality had momentarily glitched. This wasn't a borderline situation or a tough judgment call. There was no ambiguity. It was a clear foul that, somehow, resulted in the team committing it, gaining possession via the arrow. That moment was all it took. The short, unmistakable clip quickly became the rallying point for a season's worth of growing frustration. Fans who had spent months voicing concerns about inconsistent officiating suddenly had the evidence laid bare. No more speculation, no more theory, just a glaring, indisputable mistake captured on camera, and perhaps most concerning, this wasn't an isolated incident. It was simply the clearest, most public example of a pattern many have been tracking all season long.
Defense is playing phenomenal. Oh my God, it's night and day. I think that Commissioner's Cup gave them swag. Now they're swagging it out. I never seen Natasha Howard so aggressive in my life. This girl is beasting now all suddenly. She is beast moding right now. And Timpson, the rookie, getting block shots, getting steals. Aaliyah Boston is just murking, destroying AjaWilson. Man, you know, I got a Wilson. I got a nickname for AjaWilson, guys. You know what it is? Whistle Wilson. Because this lady's always getting whistles. She's the person with the special whistle, guys. Every freaking time. And then she goes to the free throw line. Freaking free throw merchant. I think she's related to SGA. But anyway, she's not.
Because when you zoom out from that single moment, it becomes part of a much larger and more troubling pattern. Among fans, it even has a name, Whistle Wilson. And it's not just a trending phrase on social media. It's grown into a grassroots accountability effort. Dedicated WNBA followers have been watching AjaWilson's minutes closely, tracking every questionable foul call, every no call that seemed to tilt in her favor. This particular game put all of that under a spotlight. The numbers speak for themselves. Wilson alone was awarded 13 free throw attempts. The entire Indiana Fever roster, 12 players, over 4 quarters earned just 17. One player nearly matched an entire team's total at the line. Let that sink in.
Aces tried to put a little run together to start the third quarter, and Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull shut that shit down. They shut it down by hitting some big shots. All right, that steal led to the only 2 points that Sophie Cunningham had. But it was big. So right here, let's start Aaliyah Boston right here. That's Sydney Colson to Boston. She going to drive into the lane.
Wilson.
And I've got to tell you, she gave AjaWilson all she could have.
And this wasn't just a topic for online debate, it was unfolding in real time on the national broadcast. Even the commentators, who usually tread carefully to avoid controversy, couldn't ignore what was happening. Despite efforts to remain balanced, they acknowledged the obvious. The officiating appeared one-sided. One analyst put it bluntly, with a tone of reluctant honesty, they're trying to keep Vegas in it. Another offered a more measured response, but didn't push back on the implication. The pattern was too visible to dismiss. Even the most composed professionals were forced to confront what fans have been saying for some time, that star players like Wilson often seem to operate under a different set of rules.
And she got a favorable whistle in the second half, but it is what it is. Superstars get the whistle. Unless your name is, 29 points for AjaWilson, 3 boards, 3 personal fouls, 3 turnovers, 9 for 18 from the field goal, from the field, 11 for 13 from the free throw line. Look at the rest of her team. 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 6 points, 0 points, 4 points, 2 points, 3 points. Dana Evans, 1 for 10, Dana Evans. Oh my.
Superstars get the whistle. It was said on air almost casually, as if it's just an accepted part of sports. But that quiet acceptance is exactly what's eroding trust in the game. Because when fans start to believe that the league's biggest names benefit from invisible layers of preferential treatment, it undermines the very foundation of competition, where outcomes should be driven by skill, effort, and heart, not by who the officials choose to favor on a given night. That jump ball call wasn't just a missed whistle, it was a moment that confirmed every fan's worst suspicion, that results might not always reflect what happens on the court, but instead what's being managed behind the scenes. So now the question is yours. Do you believe the superstar whistle is real? Let us know where you stand in the comments. We want to hear your take.
Wilson crossing over. Wilson hangs. Wilson finishes.
Oh boy, here she comes.
Lexi Hull, a much-needed answer for Indiana.
See, after the miss, Hull on the floor again, finds Mitchell, right corner for three. Good! It's Mitchell the other way for two. 57-38 Fever with 3:35 left in the third quarter.
Becky Hammond said the referees were starting to get on the side of the Aces. They were trying to wheel the Aces back in, and Lexi stepped in and sort of killed it. Kelsey Mitchell never took her foot off the gas tonight, by the way. This is the best thing I've seen from Stephanie White all season long. Right here, she was aggravated by the refs already, and in the fourth quarter, 5:35 left, Stephanie White lost her shit on the sideline. She lost her shit. And let me just play this right here. Roll it.
Lost that lead late.
And you see her.
See on CaitlinClark.
You see her just losing it up here. Losing it.
Wilson misses on
and she got teed up right there.
On the sideline.
And CaitlinClark.
When did Indiana Fever turn into the best defensive team in the NBA? When? I mean, after that celebration from the Commissioner's Cup, we all thought they were going to come out here a little bit hungover. I mean, their defensive prowess has gone up 100%. In the first half, we have Aces down 22 points. We have only beaten Las Vegas Aces one time in 9 years. For those who do not know that statistic, we've only beaten them once in 9 years. Their defense is impenetrable. We have 28 points in the paint for the second quarter. We are shooting 90% from the field in the second quarter. This is insane.